Hi, it's Charlie giving you Monday's market commentary. I hope you're very well and a happy new year to you. Um, with it being the beginning of the year now, most people are back to work and trading. It'll still be a little bit light this early part of this week on the trading front. We've seen some big moves overnight, but I think the volumes are still a little bit light. But certainly, obviously, most people are back to work now anyway. So at this time of year, then we usually look towards, okay, what are we going to be looking to achieve over the coming year? So as traders, we have to just look back at what we did last year, what we did well, what we didn't do so well, and where we can improve. Sometimes it could be tweaks to your style, tweaks to your money management, your risk management, tweaks to your targets and stop losses as well. So it's always a good time at the beginning of the year to reflect on what you've done previously and where you may need to be looking to make adjustments. So certainly well worth getting that plan down for this coming year to say, okay, these are my goals and this is how I'm looking to achieve these goals. But outside of that, we're back into normal markets now, and pretty much, and so we're all back to work. And so, what are we looking for next? Well, I've got the dollar index up here on a weekly chart, weekly time frame, and we can see obviously just how how much it's moved. And if we actually zoom out a little bit here, we can see that it's broken above the 2009 highs, and so the trend continues with the US dollar, and I don't think there's going to be much of a change. If I'm moving this out to a monthly chart, we can see that it's broken above this monthly 200 here, but really we can see, look, right the way up to here is the next key levels. And there's going to be other areas of resistance along the way. We've actually got a little bit of resistance right here, back from 05, and then there'll be some more over here and other levels around about 95 I'm looking at off screen. But certainly if we were looking at just previous highs, then the last prior main high is right up here. So does this US dollar have huge potential to work its way back up to there? Well, it's certainly something that we have to consider when we're looking at these markets. And if that's the case, where are we looking for, is that going to help our ability to analyze the markets on currency pairs? So if we take this to the likes of the euro dollar, then we can see the euro dollar again overnight. It's now broke. It actually went down to 118 and 65, I think it was, overnight. It's back up at 119 or so this morning, but this is on the weekly chart at the moment. But yeah, there's nothing really stopping the euro dollar from carrying on weakening, because we're seeing the dollar strengthening. Now at any point, of course, we could see retracements, and if we look at, for example, we haven't been back to retest the 21-week moving average in a long time. So at any time there could be a retracement, but we have to consider that any retracements are just that, a retracement within the overall downwards trend. And so with the euro dollar, overall we've got to be looking for the euro dollar to be coming lower this year. Now bear in mind, we've got a whole 12 months ahead of us, so there's forecasts for it to come down to 113, 115, 118 from the major banks. And there's some other forecasts even lower than that. So it's got a whole year to do that. So as we can see that it went from 140 down to 120 in the space of 6 months. And we're only looking at forecasts which are, that's 2,000 points. We're looking at forecasts for really only 500 to 800 points lower than where we currently are. So of course it's got the whole year to do that. Bear in mind retracements, but there's nothing really saying that there should be a retracement coming right now on the euro dollar. It's still looking very weak on the daily charts, and there's nothing really to suggest that there might be. Now I've just said that maybe it means that the euro is going to go higher, but certainly from an overall forecast perspective, when we're looking at this year, we have to be looking at the euro dollar to be coming lower yet, because until it starts to come down and break down some new lows, breaking prior lows on the weekly and monthly charts. And if we're looking at that on the euro dollar, then on the pound dollar, now the pound dollar, we have more strength in obviously the UK economy is that much better, but there's also uncertainty obviously with the elections coming up, and so the pound, yes, it's it's again in a downwards move. It has that potential again to do a test of the 21-week moving average, but again, with the dollar being so strong, it's like the baby's being thrown out with the bathwater, and so we have to look down to sub 150. We've got these prior lows back down here from 2013, and we could be seeing the pound coming back down towards those levels. So certainly it looks like the pound's going to try and work its way down there. But having said that, if we zoom out a little bit, then we can see that the pound is against a reasonable amount of support here, where we've hit these levels 3 times, actually 4 times if we look over there. So it is into that support zone at the moment, and it's just sort of sitting around there. But certainly it looks to me that, well, certainly these are the next levels of targets for the pound on the downside. So at the moment, as it currently stands, we're looking at currencies and their longer term views. I'm looking at weekly charts here, so I'm not looking about what's happening imminently, but certainly it looks that like these are going to be the next levels down for the pound, dollar, and similarly with the euro is going to be lower we're looking towards. Having said that, if these were to garner some strength, then at some point they will want to do a retest of those weekly 21s. So we'll watch out for that as well. And if they do get up to there, then that'll be an ideal selling opportunity up in that zone anyway. Right, I shall leave that with you. Make sure you got your plans done. And I think Easy Trader are doing a January sale, so you'll probably hear about that this month anyway. So I'm sure we've got some sales on as it is January. Enjoy. Speak to you on Friday.